4-time Pro Bowler. He's in the 10,000-yard rushing club. He's one of our favorite guests as well. And I know I've been saying that a lot, but it's the truth. We just had Michael Irvin on. Now we have the head coach of Tennessee State football, Eddie George. How are you, Eddie George?
Man, I'm doing great, brother. How are you? Happy New Year,
Happy New Year to you, too. How do you like the coaching thing? How do you like it?
You know, I love it, man. I really do. I never thought in all my years of playing and since I've been retired for 15 some odd years that I would find so much joy in coaching. I mean, there are the days where it's frustrating and long hours and film study and recruiting and fundraising and all of that, but it's so gratifying when you start to see these kids buy in and get it and see success and see the smile on their faces, the appreciation, the thank yous that you get from the players. Like, Coach, thanks for being hard on me. Thanks for your advice. I mean, to give back to the game that gave me so much, it's so awesome, so gratifying. I now understand why they say it's addicting when you coach. It really is. It's a wonderful calling. I'm glad that God chose me to do this, and it's been phenomenal so far.
So, yeah, I know when we last spoke, you had just taken the job, and you were talking to me about your process, your thought process about taking it and why, and your concerns about all the other stuff. You know, I'm sure it's not any surprise to you how much you love the competition and love seeing others succeed based on your program that you have laid down. Yeah. I'm sure that might not surprise you. What about the other stuff, though, now that you're into it, Eddie?
Wow, the other stuff is a day-to-day challenge, Rich, and I just sum it up to this. You have to meet mediocrity at every turn. That's whether it's on the field, from your players, from your coaches, from the training staff, from the equipment to training table at every single turn, and raise the stakes and raise the standard, a higher standard for what you're going to become. My goal is to make this program a world-class program through football, to impact our students in a much greater way than just athletics, but the holistic person, academics, spiritually speaking, to become a better person. So all of those things that we're meeting with facilities and having to just get the bare bones of things in terms of infrastructure, like a football operations building. You know, that's exciting to me that we're finding the capital, we're raising the money, we are in process of building all this stuff out. That, to me, are the wins. That's what's going to bring sustainability to this program, and hopefully we'll have a few championship seasons within that. So it's a long process, Rich. It's a tedious one. It's frustrating because academia, they move at their own pace, you know.
Sure.
And you got to understand that, but it's really a collaborative effort, and to understand and then be understood, and then finding that middle ground of how can we move this ball forward? How can we roll in the same direction? And it really is it's a good deal when you're making some headway.
Eddie George here on the Rich Eisen Show, head football coach of Tennessee State football. I'll ask you, I know I'm talking about a competitor when it all comes down to it, but also, you know, Prime from way back in the day when you were playing ball together. Seeing the recruits that he's bringing to Jackson State, your thoughts on that in terms of maybe, do you look at it as it lifts all HBCU boats or what? What do you think about all this?
It definitely does, without a doubt. I mean, I talked to Deion a lot. I talked to Deion and during the process of me, you know, trying to figure out whether I was going to do this or not. And we talk, you know, maybe once a week, just to see how he's doing. I know he had some issues, and was told him I was praying for him, but more importantly, you know, he's telling me best practices and things that he's done to be successful. And the bottom line is this, you know, off the field, our goal is to raise the profile, raise the standard of HBCUs, and say, hey, you know what? You don't necessarily have to go to the Power 5 schools to get to your end goal. You can come to an HBCU. You can come to a different school and be all that you want to be and be very successful at it. If you have aspirations of going to the next level and playing on the next level, they're going to find you. You know, we have the resources to do that. We have the coaching to do that. We can coach guys for that level. So when I see him going after, you know, school players that are going to Ohio State or Michigan or Florida State and able to bring them there, that's what it's all about. Because now it opens up the door, Pandora's box, for other kids to say, hey, you know what? Let me explore what else is out there. Tennessee State, Alcorn State, Grambling State, Hugh Jackson is down there, Jackson State. So it just opens the door in terms of kids saying, hey, there are other options, and I can still have a wonderful career. I can still attain all the things I want to do, but I'm going to do it differently. I dare to be different.
And what's your approach with transfer portals and things like that, and recruits, and whether it's just high school recruits or transfer portal?
Yep.
What's your formula on all that, Eddie George?
Well, the ratio is 40-40-20.
That's what Prime said too.
And right now it's bringing bodies in the building that can play. Period.
Yeah.
You know, I got to find players that are dogs, that can hunt, that can run, that has some ball in them, that they played before, some experience, and I can win now at certain positions. And then there are the 20%, which is the high school kids that I would want to develop. I'm not so interested right now in just the developing kids and just drafting, you know, just recruiting all high school kids. You know, that I have to find players that can play now and find that right mix, that right ratio. And as time goes on, that ratio will slide and be fluid and go to 50-50 and hopefully a 60-40 ratio to where we have sustainability. But on the front end, I've got to flip my roster and find guys that can come in that are looking for an opportunity to play. They're looking for an opportunity to be coached by world-class coaches that have coached at every single level and have a chance to go to play the next level. We just had a couple kids that's playing in the NFL PA Bowl.
Right.
Corey Rahman is going to be playing on NFL Network at the NFL PA Bowl. Jeremy Hickbottom, who was our quarterback, will be in the HBCU Bowl as well. And we're just really excited for their future.
Yeah, no, there's the HBCU Combine that's coming up as well. Yes. So, you know, get this pipeline going here and get the infrastructure, as you point out, you know, going into direction. And it appears to be going in that direction a little bit too. And it's got to be how does it feel to be walking into, you know, the home of the Titans to coach your team? I mean, your old stomping grounds. I mean, that's got to be something else for you, Eddie, right? Coach George, where George, you know, where player George used to bark at Ray Lewis all the time, and more others. You know, I mean, that's got to be wild for you. You know,
it is wild because it brings back so many memories of me playing as a player, and it's a special place, a place where I haven't lost a lot of ball games. I told my team that. I said, look, you know, I have not lost a lot of games in this building as a player, and I'm damn sure not going to do it as a coach.
Right.
So there is a standard in which we defend our home. We have a winning record at home. And now in this capacity where I'm at coaching, I'm walking up and down the sidelines with a headset, I have to pinch myself sometimes like I am really coaching in a ball game right now, and I have to call timeout because, you know, we got to get the right playoff, or we got to get, you know, my defense has to get rest. I mean, I'm just looking at the game from a different lens, and that's been a lot of fun. You know, it really has. Do you
run into Vrabel a lot at all, Eddie? Or?
You know, I haven't talked to Ray. I don't run into him a lot because of COVID.
Right.
But we've been texting back and forth, and it's my plan to go in there and to soak up some knowledge from him. He should be the
Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year.
I know.
I really do believe that.
He got I gave a vote to Peter King. It's not the one that counts for the award, but he's. I mean, what he's done. I mean, Derrick Henry out since October. A.J. Brown out quite a bit. Julio Jones has not been the Julio in Atlanta that they hoped to have acquired from Atlanta, and they're still the 1 seed. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It is remarkable what he's done. Not just made the playoffs, but 95 players that has gone on their roster this year. I think that's an NFL record, and they're the number one seed. You would think a team like that that's decimated with that many injuries would be an 9-8, 8-9 team just trying to squeak in the playoffs. They're a number one seed, beat quality teams, and he spent the last 3 or 4 years implementing his system. And we're seeing that system work. No matter who you plug in, it works. Whether it's Dante Freeman, another running back that you can just plug in there, they're able to run the football with physicality at the line of scrimmage, at the offensive line. They finally got a defensive pass rush that is nasty. And the secondary is playing well. They're playing complementary football, Rich. And for the national audience, yeah, they're not the sexy pick. Some people are surprised that Tennessee Titans are the number one seed in the AFC. Yeah, because they play complementary football and they've beaten quality teams throughout the year. So we'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds in the playoffs.
You know who finished 9th in the league in rushing with 937 yards? 9th, top 10 in the league in rushing was Derrick Henry. You know?
Right.
Isn't that amazing? In 8 games, he ran for 937 yards. And he finished in the top 10, and he hasn't played in 10 weeks. It's nuts. It's crazy,
That's
man.
Nuts.
I know.
Crazy.
He is truly unbelievable. Did you, before I let you go, last 2 questions. Did you see last night's national championship game in Indianapolis? And if so, what are your thoughts on that one?
Well, yes, of course. I love college football.
Yes, of course.
Love watching it, love growing and learning. First of all, before I go into that, congratulations.
No. Let me handle the interview, Eddie. Let me handle the interview. I will handle the interview. No.
Be careful, Eddie. Be careful.
No, Eddie. I know you're a coach.
Comes.
No, I know you can control what you think you can control, but you're the interviewee. I'm the interviewer. What do you think of Georgia's win? What did you?
I know that was coming next, so I just wanted to do it. Hey, but last night was a thrill to watch. It was a lovely defensive battle for 3 quarters.
Wasn't it, though?
Until everything opened up at the end. What a gutsy performance by Georgia. The defense stepped up time and time again, giving the offense a chance to find themselves. And I'm really proud. I'm really happy for Kirby Smart and the Georgia program. For so many years, they've been trying to cross that threshold of winning a championship. You know, year after year, they had the talent, but they can't get over the hump of Alabama, and finally they got over that hump, and it was just a great game to watch.
I know, and I kind of, as I said at the top of the show, it's kind of interesting that even with the world of NIL and 5-star recruits, and there were like 100 of them on the field last night, it was a kid who had to go on his own journey, walked on junior college, in between stints at Georgia, who won it at quarterback. That kid Stetson Bennett, the 4th, was dropping some dimes. You know what I mean? Like, that was something else last night. It really was.
And how about that throw to really set things off?
Yeah.
That I think a long 50-yard throw. I mean, he was struggling, holding on to the ball, and he got kind of wide-eyed. It was like almost that feeling of, oh, here we go again. Alabama has his number, but he persevered. And that was great to see. All
right, now let's get to the one thing. So, your season's over. Your season was over, and you're like, all right, one last Saturday, I'll watch a football game. And snow's coming down in Ann Arbor, and I finally get to chat with you off a win, Eddie George, off a W.
Yeah. Well, how's that feel? I mean, it's been over a decade, right? Since you had that opportunity. How does it feel for you to do that?
It felt great, by the way. Felt great. Yeah. It was great. I was living my best life, Eddie. I'm sure, again, you're doing your thing. I was just so excited for Ohio State beating Duke in basketball 2 days later, sealing your newfound level of basketball school. That was great. Yeah.
Now we're a basketball school.
Well, clearly you beat Duke. That was big for you guys. They almost stormed the court. That was great. No,
Yeah. I mean, you get those victories. That happens every once in a blue moon, So, yes, that's a once in a blue moon for Michigan. Once every 15 years, we'll give you all that. Y'all were due for that. So I was happy for your program.
Thank you, sir.
I have to admit that all blue uniform is sweet. I was like, okay, that was nice. I said, okay, Mish. I said, I hate your guts, but as a head coach and uniforms, I was like, that all blue looks pretty nice, man.
Well, I mean,
I have to admit.
I know it's part of your it's part of your current color scheme, is it not? Right, Eddie?
It really. You know what the crazy part is? God has a funny sense of humor. Our tagline now is "Go Blue." I have to say that. You know, so
oh no!
I have to confirm it like "Go Blue."
No,
TSU.
Did you? This may be a tradition, but have you at least a split second say, you know, when I start getting some tenure here, we're gonna have to change that. Like honestly, deep down.
Oh, no question. That's the number one thing that we are going to change, and I'm working on it now. It's going to be "Go Tigers." I can't. That big. It's hard for me to even get it out. It pains me to have it come through my mouth. I have to say that sometimes, but you know, it's all good, man.
Mysterious ways, huh?
Some gear too, man. I got to send you a helmet or a T-shirt.
Love it.
Word on the show.
Love it. Do it. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Please, anytime, Eddie George. This is an anytime. Whenever you have time, I'd love to. Whatever. Anytime you want to come on, or send me whatever you want. And go and go blue. Go blue. Go blue. Right?
Go big blue. Tigers.
You're supposed to say it back to me. You're supposed to say it back to me. Go blue.
Oh, no, not from which it comes from you, how it's coming from you. I know the intent behind that big blue. No, absolutely not.
You reject the spirit.
I'll say go Bucks for that one.
You reject the spirit when you believe it is intended. I understand. I get it. I get it. Good to chat with you, Eddie. You be well. You be well.
All right, Rich. Have a good day, man.
You got it. It's Eddie George. Go blue. Oh, baby.
That's funny.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.